990WBOB.com. Our first quarantine stream, CovidCast. We haven't really come up with a name yet. We're still workshopping it. But it is I, Joe Ferro. I'm here with my good friends, Allan Giberti, Scott Rotundo, Mike Sandoval. We're going to talk to you about the current state of what's going on here in Rhode Island with us during our own personal quarantines, what we're doing to cope to get through it, things of that nature. We may or may not have a special guest about halfway through, but, you know, this is our first rodeo. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe. You want to comment that Scott's ugly? We know that already. Don't bother.
He's beautiful.
Bell, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. That's true. Comment what you think we could do better. Things of that nature. Obviously, me and Scotty are both on mobile, and Mikey and Allan are on PC, so they get the little fancy backgrounds, and then me and Scott get what we get.
Yeah.
So, how we doing, boys? Is everybody holding up?
We're doing. It was a bit of a day today. You know, just trying to get work done throughout the quarantine, and you know, I'm kind of in a hybrid position where some days I have to go into the office, and some days I can work from home. How you guys holding up?
This was my first official day out of quarantine, like actual quarantine. So like I left the house, I could go to work. I'm like an essential worker, so I work. I did that day and rushed, came home, took a shower, and I'm here. It was good to actually like get out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just for the change of scenery, I bet.
Yeah.
What about you, Mikey? How you holding up, Mike?
I mean, everyone knows me as being one of the nerdy guys and loves playing video games and stuff, but there's only so many games you can play before you start losing your mind in your own house. So at this point, I'm just trying to find other things to do. There's no sports. Clearly, you can tell I'm missing sports. I'm trying to find a background to pretend I'm in Fenway Park right now. So, I mean, it's good to be able to talk to other people besides, you know, my family that I live with and stuff. So it's nice to be able to see you guys, even though I know we're not broadcasting live from in studio, but it's always nice to be able to hear you guys talk and bickering about everything. It's awesome.
Well, let's go. I'm sorry.
I'm on tonight, so like you know, we're on the radio, which is good because last week there was no show, so it's kind of like therapy. So I've like you know 2 weeks worth of venting to kind of
get out.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know the feeling.
So, let's go around the horn here. So we got Mike Sandoval from Well Played. We got Scotty Rotundo from the Rotunda, and Allan Giberti from Rhode Island Red Radio. And of course, I'm Joe Ferro from Ferro and Fox, the franchise. I don't know. I have too many to list. The resume is too long around here. My shows only last usually about 3 seasons. So
You forgot to mention my other show that I'm on sometimes called Cops.
Oh, that's true. It's true. Live PD. You might recognize Scott from Live PD.
Yep.
I also have been guest co-hosting with Pal on the cafe as well the past couple of weeks.
That's true. That's true. So. I've done that. It's fun because he just talks over you the whole time. I've been there, done that. There was a new show that Allan and Scott, you guys started up. What, you did 1 or 2?
One. We did one.
We did 1 in the 990 economics, right?
Yes.
All right. So we got a ton of talent in this room. You know, my personal quarantine experience has kind of been exactly what it's been for a little while. Been out of work for a little while, and I haven't really left the house. The only thing I really miss is going to the studio and seeing all you jabronis. And you know, we're gonna, you know, I know Pal is working very hard to get some kind of normalcy back to our broadcast schedule. So, you know, follow at 990 WBOB on Twitter for all those updates. You know, you heard Allan, he's going to be on later tonight. You know, depending on when this goes up, this should go up right before you go on. You got, you know, the producers willing. But let's talk about these numbers, man. Like, Allan, I know you've been down in the trenches over there with Gina and asking questions and such. Tell us your point of view of what you're seeing from the front lines there.
What I'm seeing from the front line, a lot of the questions, I mean, she gets up every day and, you know, she gives the numbers, new cases, people in the hospital, people who have passed away. And on the other end, on social media, you see a lot of people wanting to know things like how many people have recovered, and which really isn't relevant in any of the data that she's giving out. And that reason being the only reason how many people have recovered is good in predicting future models. So it's not relevant now. You can calculate how many people have recovered, but I mean, I'll get to that in my show, but it's simple, but it's not relevant. And today they were asking because they give daily numbers on how many people are in the hospital. One of the questions was, it's not updated. Like they're not, but in actuality they are. So we have like 100 and X, now I don't have it right in front of me, and people who are in there, but the numbers that they give daily are what is current. What happened? Oh, thanks. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's what that is total. That's
what are you been searching for, Mike? fun bras for women over 50?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just the random stuff that pops up when I look up World of Meters, apparently.
Right.
It's okay. We're not
the real important stuff that we're supposed to be looking at is all this.
I know.
Right
Sorry.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, but so the number of recovered patients with COVID-19 is, it tells as far as predicting future models. And right now we're not at the point where we're be able to predict anything because we don't know anything about this. We don't have any good data. So. And people getting frustrated. People, I think, are just, I don't want to say scared because they don't know what's coming up. Thank you for hiding.
You could have just scrolled down. Yeah, so I think so I know we've talked before about this, Allan, offline, just personal. The numbers that we're seeing, we don't know yet because there's not enough testing going around, correct?
Correct. There's not enough testing, and also we're really not doing any serology tests to see who's already been exposed to it, who already has the antibodies. And just because you're negative and you have antibodies does not mean they are not sure. Does that mean you cannot catch it again?
Gotcha. Because there has been rumors of cases in China where people have gotten it a second time, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
China, I believe South Korea as well, and yeah, so some people are getting the second wave. I don't. It's a combination of like new infections and reinfected.
So this is a general question to the group. Do you think this lockdown is what we should be doing? Should we all be staying at home, or should we just be going about our life like we did with SARS and like we did with everything else? Or is this to that point where we don't know what's going to happen that we should all be staying at home?
Scott, you want to try that one first?
Sure. I think, as far as little data that we have right now, I think staying home as much as we can is probably our best option in the short term, right? In the short term, as they say, flatten the curve and kind of limit the person-to-person transmission. Now, if this drags out, say, through the summer, then I would have to say at that point, you just have to start going about your own business, because I would look at, for instance, I'm looking at 119,000 cases of coronavirus that have ended in death. Now, is that just in the U.S. or is that worldwide?
This is worldwide.
That one's worldwide.
So, and I would just looking at the numbers because I'm a finance guy and that's what I do. If you shut the entire country, in fact, the entire world's economy down through like the entire summer, you're going to see a ton more than 119,000 deaths from domestic violence, from robbing, from looting, from honestly probably from suicide too, as people get that hopelessness feeling that I think everybody's going to struggle with from time to time. So convoluted answer, short term, yes, we should be doing what we're doing and staying inside. But this is clearly not a long-term solution. And by long-term, I mean, you cannot keep people locked up all summer.
Okay. Yeah, Mike, Mike or Allan, whichever you, give me your thoughts.
Go ahead, Mike.
Me personally, what I've been thinking on this, I definitely think staying inside, or at least, doing the whole social distancing thing is definitely something that we need to we definitely shouldn't take it lightly, because at least with me personally, I'm usually not someone that goes really hard into this. I'll definitely read articles and I kind of, see what I can get and kind of form my thoughts that way. One thing that I've noticed that I do have a bunch of friends that are in the medical fields. I have some that are actually in the wards that are treating these patients, and everyone's saying the same thing. He's like, don't take this lightly. This is extremely serious. Like if you have the opportunity to, to stay home and, either you can work from home or work's letting you not go to work if you're not an essential worker, then stay home, do whatever you can, at least wait the 2 weeks, make sure, everything's going on. And even then, just still stay home. There's no reason to be doing anything Because in reality, almost everything's closed right now. So it's like, even if you were to leave, what are you really going to do besides obviously walk through the neighborhood, maybe just get fresh air at that point. But if you're purposely being next to a bunch of people and all this and that, then you're not helping anybody. So I personally think you should definitely be staying at home, or at least staying confined to an area where there aren't too many people.
Right. I think as far as, I saw, I'm sure you've all seen it too, but, the way that they're shutting everything down is like having just one area of the pool that you can pee in. And that, because if you look at the state of Rhode Island, half of the businesses are closed, and the schools are closed, but you still have people who are working, who are essential workers, who aren't actually what I would consider like essential workers for keeping the infrastructure going. But you have a lot of other people, like the kids, they're congregating. Like the churches were closed, but Walmart and Home Depot were packed. Like everybody was out. It's not really effective, because if you were just trying not to catch something, then you would not be mingling with people. So you have some people doing it, some people just going out doing whatever, some people complying, and I think everybody kind of needs to be on the same page.
Yeah, I agree, especially with Scotty, with it being a short-term thing. The economy can't hold up to this much longer. A lot of these small businesses, and actually our guest Mike, if you have his email, at a couple minutes, if you want to send it to him, he did get back to me. He said that he is down. Okay. Small businesses, are really being impacted by this, and they're doing a lot of creative things to try to keep the lights on, keep the people employed, which is, it's a thing that we've never dealt with before. So, I saw someone post the other day freaking out about, fast food places still being open, for delivery, pickup, things of that nature. I'm kind of in the middle. As a fat kid who loves fast food, it's not bad, but I do get a little bit freaked out about it. Like, my girl wanted to go to Sonic like a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, I don't know if we should. And then we ended up getting from a little small bakery local, which I think is the lesser of two evils, because I'm supporting a small little bakery opposed to this national chain. Right. So I think if you can go out there and you can do that, if you feel comfortable doing that, you know what, and go out and do it. If you want to go out for a walk, go out for a drive. Like, I heard somebody freaking out about people being on the road. What's safer than my car with the windows up, sunroof open, AC on, the heat on, depending on, we're living in New England, so it could fluctuate day by day. But like, I don't really see a problem with that, but like, we still have to live our lives. We can't just shut it down, Yeah. And that's what's tough right now, because we've never dealt with anything like this. The most I can remember being worried about leaving the house was like post 9/11. That's all I can think of to compare it to. It's obviously two separate ends of the spectrum, unless you want to get into conspiracy shit, which we talked about a little bit. We might want to, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think we shy. Yeah, I think we shy away from that for now. But if we decide to, we can definitely lay the hammer down on some conspiracy.
We could put 3 hours together doing conspiracy theories out there.
Could I just take a second though, because I want to call BS on. If we went to the bottom of that display that we were showing before with the deaths by country, could we bring that up again?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
No,
I was just sending the invite to get the guest on. Sorry. Cool. All right, we're good.
No worries.
I want to say something. I have a problem with Worldometer and their numbers. And, I don't think I'm the only one. Worldometer is owned by, I don't know of the parent company. They're out of China. They're out of Beijing. So,
right, and it's exactly,
oh, really?
I think Allan and I are on the same page here, because I'm looking at total deaths. So China is saying 3,341 deaths. There is no way, and I think, Allan, this is where you were going, there's no way on God's green earth that China, Wuhan, where this thing started, is 11 million people. There is no way in the entire country of China there are only 3,300 people that have died from this. And I call BS on the 82,000 that are infected too. There is no way.
Well, if we look all the way to the right, the total tests per 1 million population are empty.
Yes.
Yep.
For China, which is another interesting.
And by the way, let me share this too, and I promise I'll stop hogging everything after that. I was reading on CNN. I was reading on CNN today that China has actually imposed restrictions on publication of research in China on the origins of this COVID-19. And if you're a researcher in China and you want to publish about the coronavirus, the government has to approve your paper. That's unconscionable. And I want to know, I'm not a fan
That's like everything in China, though.
Yeah, but here's the thing. When is the World Health Organization going to call China out for that?
They're not. They're not going to call it.
Yeah.
But I mean, about those publications, though, those were already, when this first came out, those were already out. They had gotten deleted. China had pulled them back. So.
I mean, the one thing I will say on here, 2.9 million tests in the U.S.
That's pretty impressive.
We're number one in tests. No one does tests better than us.
No one does tests better than us. We get the best tests.
That I can tell you.
Numbers like this before.
Well, I'm just saying. That's a number that stuck out to me. So.
Yeah.
Hey, we have our special guest on. We got Morgan from Buttonwoods Brewery. Morgan, how you doing, brother? Good friend of the station, good friend of the show, good friend of mine.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good morning.
You're on,
buddy.
You're on with Mike Sandoval, Allan Giberti, and Scott Rotundo. How's everything going?
Who are you talking to?
You.
I was talking to you.
Oh,
Mike,
right.
you
Give me
can
10
take the screen
seconds.
share away.
Yeah, I'm grabbing some headphones because I can't. Apparently, it's a lot louder in the brewery than I anticipated, so I can't really hear you guys.
Okay,
so
well, we got a couple seconds.
But I got this. Headphones, perfect. There we go.
There
Who said
he
what?
is. Morgan's iPhone. How you doing, buddy?
Hanging in there, yeah. Live from my iPhone in the brewery in the great city of Cranston in the beautiful state of Rhode Island.
So
My
you're
second
on
favorite
with,
city in Rhode Island.
You're on with myself, Mike Sandoval, Allan Giberti, and Scott Rotundo, and we were just going over some of the COVID stuff and some of the numbers and such like that. But I wanted to have you on, not only because you're a friend, but I wanted to talk a little bit about this impact on local business and kind of what you're doing. I know a little bit of what you're doing. I know a lot about what you're doing because I already went out and I did it around my birthday. So you've been doing it for a little while now. How you're still honestly keeping the lights on and doing your damn thing with this whole debacle we're going through.
Honestly, it's been an interesting couple of weeks for us. We've definitely had to kind of switch lanes and totally adapt our business model total opposite way of how we normally run business. It was originally focused on having a tap room. All of a sudden, that tap room is no longer a source of revenue. So we've actually transitioned everything into online sales. So it's been a pretty good beginning effect. We'll see some weeks where it turns out great, and some weeks where it's just okay. So far, so good. We're keeping the lights on. But don't get me wrong. Like every Monday rolls around, it's like, all right, what's the week hold for us? Are we gonna be in the black this week, or we're gonna hit the red? So it's been an interesting transitional period. I think a lot of the breweries around me have kind of followed suit. We've all transitioned to online sales. It seems to work out. That's the thing about alcohol is that in dark times we drink, in celebratory times we drink. And right now all we're seeing is a lot of dark times. So there's a lot of drinking.
True. And you guys transitioned to online sales pretty rapidly. It was around my birthday, so mid-March. I did the online sales. I came in right to the dock, boom, bang, boom. I was out of there, no problem. And it was flawless. Buttonwoodsbrewery.com. You can pick what you want during your pickup hours because you're doing pickup hours. You got to go during certain times, but it was done flawlessly and very easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, it took me about 5 days to set that whole internet thing up. But basically, once it kind of got up and running, it was pretty seamless. So it felt pretty good to get that up and find out that there were very minimal complaints. So it means I'm doing something right, especially considering I have the tech savvy of a 75-year-old man.
That is true.
So
that is true.
It's amazing I'm on this phone call right now because I can't even FaceTime with my girlfriend. It's like,
hey,
how do I turn this on?
If we got Scott to join with no problem, well, with minimal issues, we got you. Guys, did you have anything you had for Morgan?
Where do you think this? How long do you think you can survive like this?
Like, how long can we survive?
How long do you think this lockdown? Do you think that your business can handle it?
So we're kind of in a pretty fortunate spot, and it's honestly total dumb luck. We were saving up money for new set of equipment already. So going into this, we actually had a stockpile of cash. Obviously, we're not utilizing that as a means to buy new equipment yet because we don't know how long this whole thing's going to go on. So we're kind of saving every dollar we can. But because of that, it kind of kicked us in. You know, we're able to kind of operate pretty smoothly for the next 8 months, if not longer. If things stay the same, we'll make it through this, probably with no savings left, but we'll make it through no problem. If this goes on for a long period of time or sales drop off drastically, you know, that timeline gets a lot shorter. But again, like I said, we're in a very fortunate spot that we already had a huge war chest lying around just to buy new equipment. If this happened 3 weeks later than it did, we would be in a very interesting boat right now.
Mm.
Did you get to utilize the small the small business loans that the government put out?
So we've applied for 2 of those. We applied for the PPP, the Payroll Protection Plan, and then there's disaster insurance that the SAB is putting out, or SBA, excuse me, Small Business Association. So we applied for and got approved for the SBA loan for the insurance part. The PPP is kind of proven to be dragging its feet for a lot of people. At least most of the people I've spoken to. The problem was you had hundreds of businesses of all sizes, from 500 employees down to 2, all trying to vie for this amount of money. And it kind of came out pretty early on that the biggest problem with it was these banks had total control of who got the money. So they were kind of picking and choosing. Bank of America came out as like, you can only get the PPP loan if you have debt with us. For obvious reasons, they want their people who have loans to be able to pay off that loans, because obviously you declare bankruptcy, all of your debts are kind of washed away, and Bank of America's out there holding the bill. So they're trying to get that, and there's been a couple other banks that are trying to go through that whole process. So that's been a nightmare for small businesses. But I think they kind of got a little talking to right out the gate, but they're still dragging their feet on it as far as I know. I don't know anyone who's gotten it yet.
Yeah, I haven't checked with my employer yet. I believe they had tried to apply. Yeah.
Ollie!
Okay.
The Ollie Ara.
Yeah, so I gotta actually, you caught me at the right time. I gotta someone come up here to pick up an order, so let me grab that. You guys give me 10 seconds.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Good.
I had to go and grab some of my Buttonwoods.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Out of the fridge.
Ooh, what you drinking?
Herbaceous
Nice.
Appetite.
There we go.
I picked it up. I picked it up when I came by for my birthday, and I figured, what do I better time than any?
Yeah, the world's ending. I'm thirsty. I mean, pretty much we're all just going to be drinking plants anyways, so it's oddly appropriate.
So how's your quarantine going? Besides, because obviously you're considered a essential employee.
Yeah. Give me that. There you go. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it's, I mean, honestly, we've actually started reaching out to other breweries to kind of help them out as far as like canning their beer, because not everyone is as fortunate as I am to have their own can line. So we've been kind of helping other local breweries that don't necessarily have the means to. So that's really filled in some extra time. So it's, as far as like day to day, Monday through Thursday, which is our normal production days, I'm still here. Usually it's like 9 o'clock until I'm getting out a little earlier, like 6 o'clock. But I'm still here pretty long days. But I finally get Friday off. So that's nice.
Hey, that's not bad. You don't have drunks like me keeping you there till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Well, I've been kind of slowly stepping back as far as the tasting room over the past couple months anyways. I've been going home early because I don't have to be here. My staff's great. I'm just more of a worrywart and just kind of watching over everyone. They're like, what's going on? But starting to take a step back, and then this all happened. So I kind of took one step out just to take 2 steps back into the business. But it's been good.
Well, if you want to hit us off with all your socials and everything, we're coming to a close here for our first quarantine stream or CovidCast or.
I like quarantine stream.
I think they all work.
Yeah, they
just
all
combine them all together. Combine them all in one word.
I was gonna call it the franchise well played Rotunda Rhode Island Red. I don't know.
If we could get
Still
like
working titles.
We could have like the quarantine bunch with like it in the middle.
What about the
quarantine
green
bunch?
team?
The quarantine bunch. I like the quarantine bunch.
Stick Pal in the middle.
We'll workshop it. Yes, we'll Pal in the middle. We'll workshop it. But hit us off with those socials, Morgan, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Obviously, the most important social right now is our online ordering page, which can be found on our website. It's buttonwoodsbrewery.com/online. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram's Buttonwoods Craft Brewing, and Facebook is Buttonwoods Brewery. If you want any updates, everything's kind of there. So you can really, the website just got pulled up. So you can see everything that's available. Order online. You pick up every day, 1 to 6. And Instagram's really your best bet as far as finding out about new releases. So hopefully I'll see you during this quarantine, and you guys can grab some beer, and maybe we can talk for, max 30 seconds.
Yes, sir. Hey, Morgan, I appreciate it. I can't wait till we can get back together, stop popping bottles, brother.
Yeah, I can't wait. All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. I'll let you get back to work, my man. I know you're busy.
Thank you. Stay safe, guys.
All right. See ya. That was Morgan from Buttonwoods Brewery here on the Quarren Bunch. No, Allan didn't like the Quarren Bunch.
No,
Allan didn't like the Quarren Bunch. The CovidCast.
I like CovidCast.
I like CovidCast. I haven't seen anybody use that yet, so that might be the one. So we're coming up on the end of the program. We didn't want to keep anybody way too long. Since this is our pilot, we wanted to kind of just dip our toes in it a little bit, get everybody on board, and I had fun. I think we're gonna do this again, boys.
I like it.
Absolutely, it was a great time.
So we can we'll go around counterclockwise from my screen anyway. Let's get some final thoughts. Allan, go.
I think this is going to get, at least for Rhode Island anyways, I know we're planning on expecting our peak. I'm going to probably say mid to the later this week it's going to hit, and I think it's going to hit really bad here in Rhode Island.
I tend to agree with you. Scotty.
What I'm worried about is not so much Rhode Island as nationally. I heard today that Smithfield Foods, which is the biggest pork packer in the United States, is shutting down for a while.
Calm down, Allan.
So some of their employees have come down with the coronavirus, and you could see now. First of all, we got ample supplies of meat, so we're not going to run. You don't have to go to Stop and Shop and buy all the meat products now.
Yeah.
But it's something to think about, and it's a little it's a little unnerving, but I think we will get through it.
Mikey.
I personally think I just feel like people really need to 100% be taking this seriously, because I still know there are people out there that are sort of just thinking it's kind of a joke. Which I mean, like, there's been proof time and time again that this is not a joke. Like, anyone who's working, whether or not you're a nurse or just anything that's essential at this point, everyone's proven it. Is like, no, this is an actual thing. There are people dying because of this because you're not taking it seriously. So it's just just stay home if you need to. There's no reason that you be leaving your house unless you have to get groceries or you have to get something that is essential to your household or for yourself.
Like alcohol.
Yeah, like alcohol, so you can keep yourself somewhat sane while you're home. But
yeah, but you can easily go right to Buttonwoods Brewery.
Exactly. Yes.
Big bang boom. It's simple.
Everyone's doing curbside delivery with this stuff, so.
Yeah. Get out.
Just one person go. Don't send your whole family to the store. Just one.
Yeah.
Go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to go as a crew. Yeah. I mean, honestly, be safe. Wear masks. Let's make believe it's Halloween. Put a mask on. It's not hard. You know what I mean? Wear gloves if you got them. If you don't, sanitize. Wash your fucking hands. Oh, I can drop F-bombs on here and not cost $2. This is my stream. This is WBOB TV. This isn't BOB. Yeah, wash your fucking hands. Don't go out if you don't have to. Obviously, if you want to get out, get some fresh air, go for a drive. If you and someone you're living with want to go for a drive, go for a drive. You're obviously exposed to them on a regular basis, so it's not like it's somebody new or something like that. Maintain your distance. A lot of the stores have the marks on the floor. Stay over there. Like, I can't tell you how I've been to stores and people come walking up behind me. I'm like, and you guys know me, I don't care. And I'm like, yo, whoa, what are you doing? I got the mask on up to here, get out, move, get away from me, or I think that might be an unfortunate thing that we see going forward too, is like somebody standing too close to somebody might get
exactly.
No, I want to thank you guys. Make sure you check out the Rotunda. Make sure you check out Rhode Island Red Radio. Make sure you check out Well Played. Make sure you check out Ferro and Fox whenever the hell we're back on. And I want to thank all the viewers, all the listeners. Make sure you check out @990 WBOB on Twitter for all the latest updates, news, show times, whenever we can get them in, all the latest articles, because articles, those haven't stopped. Allan's been writing some crazy stuff and keeping everybody updated, keeping the populace of Rhode Island updated. And I want to thank him for that. I want to thank Mike for producing tonight and Scott for trying to figure out how to use technology.
It's got to go.
That's what I mean. See?
Yeah,
it was a perfect time.
Yeah, Knock It Off just came out, and it's not. I'm not making any friends with that. Let me tell you. So.
That's good. That's good. You're speaking the truth, Allan, and obviously Scott's wife probably punched him in the mouth. Like we talked about, domestic violence is going to be at all-time high. But all right, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Fans, check it out. We're probably going to do more of these because I thought this was fun and it flew by. So, and now that we kind of worked out a little bit of the kinks, we're going to work out more kinks. So stick with us. Have fun, enjoy it, and be safe. Boys, be safe. I hope to see you soon. I want to say I'm hoping for a big bonfire at the BOB complex once this is all over.
Well, of course. We'll be waiting.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Of course.